This is another round, round 12. Hey, Twitch, say hi to YouTube. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. Y'all know how it go. This analysis, right? We're doing the recap. Round 12. Round 12. We're going to start with Hikaru's exciting game. Oh, yeah, bro. This was probably the most exciting game I have ever seen from Hikaru, bro. This one right here is probably the most legendary game. If you've never seen it, you're about to see it right now. Watch this, right? So, okay, Hikaru starts with, you know, he got black. He playing big Yan out here, right? And an E4 from Yan. E5 happens, knight F3, right, knight C6. Okay, cool, right? We got, you know, some, we don't know yet, right? What he's going to play? Knight F3, bishop B5. Okay, so we got a Roy now. And then knight F6, right? Okay, cool, knight F6. You could play A6, but all right, whatever. Whatever. So A6, and then castles. Then takes on E4. So we got a little Berlin-ish, right? Berlin. Let's see what he plays. I used to play this too. Open Spanish, Berlin stuff. D4. Okay. Cool, cool. This is still theory, by the way. Knight D6. D takes E5. Knight takes B5. Whoa. He hung a piece, right? But you get it back. This is still theory, right? He plays A4. The knight's trapped. So you go knight D4. Okay. Cool, cool. Theory still. Knight takes. D5. Right, D5, strike in the center. Pawn takes, oh snap, he opens the file with a smile. Queen takes D6, Queen E4 check, Queen E6, Queen E4, and then, and this is the game. Bruh. This is the game. Now, actually, in fact, this was not an exciting game. This was just a Berlin draw. I like the decision from Hikaru. I like the decision from Yan. No bloodshed here, nothing crazy at all. Plus, if white wants to go for this kind of thing, black has to kind of go for it too. Like if you take the risk, well, Yan been beating you every game, and not he was me, Hikaru, but people in this tournament. You take risk, you lose. That's just how it's been with Yan this tournament. So very smart decision from Hikaru here, and of course, I mean Yan is just leading the pack right now. As you see the results, 8.5 with how many games left? I think it's like 2 games, 3 games, 2 or 3. Let's check. Let's see the schedule here. Oh shoot, they don't even have it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so rest day 2 rounds. That's it. 2 rounds and tie breaks. That's literally it. So Yan has to like lose 2 games, and Hikaru has to win 2 games. So like, you know, for him, it's just it's unrealistic, to be honest. Unrealistic, but I mean possible, but very unrealistic for Yan to like lose 2 in a row there. So that was the first game, right? That was Hikaru's game. That was a quick draw. Okay, let's actually look at Richard Rapport game and Fabi. I thought this one was pretty stable. Pretty nice game for both players here. Right, if you're not going to take risks at the candidates of all tournaments, then come on. Well, I mean, look at Ali Reza right now. Bruh. You know what I mean? Like, hold up. Hey, don't be, you know, watch how you approach this, right? Because if you keep taking risks, you're going to keep taking L's, you know what I mean? And it's going to be rough. And then they like, bro, how is Ali Reza even in the candidates, right? You know, if he gets smacked around like a rag doll for taking risk every game, right? So you have to be practical and you have to understand, you know, as well. But you do need to take some risk probably in the beginning half of the tournament, which I expected it to be more decisive in the beginning half because people are trying to figure out, they're trying to get that, right? But then later on in the tournament, it actually was more decisive later in the tournament than in the beginning. So knight F3, knight to C6, bishop B5, we got a Roy. Knight F6, D3, bishop C5, Roy stuff. He does a delayed exchange here. H3 stopping bishop G4. This is all theory too as well. All theory. Ali Reza didn't show his 2800 elo. Yeah, exactly right. Okay. This feels like if you're close to first, like in Hikaru's position, you don't have much to lose. Yeah, you could, but also, I mean, not that you have much to lose, but Yan's in great form. So if you challenge somebody in great form, I mean, you just got to be ready for it. And obviously, I mean, it's his decision. He didn't want to go for it, which is total sense. He has been beating everybody else. Like, you know, I take the draw, right? It's a smart decision. Might be knight B to D2, knight D7, knight to B3, hitting the bishop. Bishop backs up. Knight goes to G5 with knight takes E6 intentions. Bishop takes B3, 8 takes B3, and F6. And this is honestly very easy to play, very boring, I would say, from both sides here. Not something Rich Rapport's like super happy about, but I mean, it is Fabi, so it's not like we're trying to crush Fabi. But at the same time, we don't have a very like easy position or a very wrist like, you know, sharp position. This is very boring. Knight C4, Queen D7. He got over here to H4, right? H4 stuff. H4, A6, knight takes B6 is possible too as well. We have H5. Castle's queen side, knight takes B6 and takes. This was definitely looking like a draw, even from here. Structure-wise, like everything's solid. Bishop versus knight. looking like a draw. You know what I mean? Looking like a draw. Bishop e3, c5, like, I mean, whatever, right? We make some moves. Make some moves, move some pieces around, shuffle. Don't hang anything. Make my position improve. If you move the knight, I'm probably going to take the queen. Castle queen side, queen f7, no trades, f4. This got a little spicy. You can see white try to push for more, but objectively nothing is going to happen here. Bishop takes, king a7, didn't even take it. You do like some white chances here, but I mean, not more than what the engine gives, which is even zeros here. f5, queen h3, stepping out the way. Maybe you had f3 and e2. Interesting move, queen h3. Is this top move? Wow, they get bishop e3 and bishop e5 and then queen h3. What a move. These are sweet moves. Okay, queen h3, queen f6, king b1. Yeah, I mean, very easy game. Honestly, like, it didn't do much. Rook f2, idea, double the rooks. Improve the position. Nothing else to do. Queen e7, he said, all right, you ain't going to take it? I'm going to keep it. Rook f6, there is no bishop g5. Come on now. Does not work. Queen h4, maybe a bishop g5. Rook g8, and we got some trades. Oh, that was sweet. Okay, so this one, I actually don't remember this part of the game because I did leave momentarily. Takes and g5. So the rook's hanging, bishop's hanging. Maybe I just go here. Play queen e4, yeah. And if you take, I take. Oh, yeah, I remember this. This was crazy. He did what here? He did some, something crazy. Of course, his rich rapport. What else would I expect? Like, of course he did something crazy. Queen d6. He took on e6 and literally sacrificed the exchange. Like, it's not even necessary, bro. It's not even necessary. And I think my coach talks about this too. Like, it's not even necessary sometimes to sack the exchange. But maybe, I guess, if I move the rook, the problem is rook h6. So maybe he had to be honest. Or you have to try to get this bishop out by, like, playing queen g4? No. Because you're in a pin. So queen e3 makes sense, though. Okay. F takes e6. He takes on g5. This was nasty. I mean, I was curious to see what the... Rook takes g5 was by Fabi, right? And then, okay, we get this position right here. By the way, it's 3 queens on the board. Like, bro. three queens on the board. Of course you're going to get this for richer rapport. Every game. Every game. Most likely. But this, I was curious here. Actually, after bishop takes g5, I don't have to take this. Like, I don't. So let's flip. And let's see. Well, he got e7. Takes. Interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like, what else could I do? e7. I don't really like that. If I take again? What is bishop h4? Like bishop h4, right? Right. I thought, okay. Okay. Just had to check. When I sack is a blunder. Yeah, exactly. When Richard Rapport sacks, it's correct. Most times. Especially like knight c4 against Ding Loran, bro. Y'all remember that? Boy. Knight c4 was nasty. And Ding still won that game. Rook takes g5 and e7. And then, I mean, 3 queens on the board. Took that, right? And it's just, this was nothing. Lorgan, yo, where you been at, bro? Thanks for the 3 months from Lorgan. But really been a lot longer. He got a new account, but shout out to Lorgan. Thanks for the 3-piece. What up, man? Where you been? d4 takes. And this was just a draw. Like, I mean, we can just fast forward moves. Just draw. Good to see how he did this too. c4, this pawn's not really queening. I mean, you just gonna check into oblivion here. And we do need some shelter though, like eventually, because we don't want to get too close and have checks available. But of course, right here, h4, rook h7, king c6, and I think Fabi offered the draw here because this was not a repetition. King c6, and this may have been a draw offer after king c6. Or Fabi like, look, I'm not winning the candidates. Like, I'm ready to go home. Like, let's go get some lunch, right? Let me go prepare for next year. Honestly. Okay, so we looked at Richard Rapport game. We looked at Jan and Hikaru. This was a shorter round. Very shorter round. The accuracy is terrifying. How do I see that, actually? There used to be a thing where they showed us the accuracy. But I haven't been seeing that lately. Maybe I just have to like I just have to click the analysis thing. Yeah, I just have to do it. It used to be right there though. It used to be like right there. Let's see this accuracy real quick. Oh my goodness. This is an over the board game. This is over the board. Hey, chill, bro. Like, chill out. Over the board. 96 is like 96.2 and 0.4 respectively. Jeez. Them boys doing too much. Like, wow. Gross. No, that's honestly really good though. Obviously, 96. 96. Okay, so next game was this Duda game. Oh, this one, yeah, Firouzja having a rough tournament. This ended in a draw, but Firouzja had a very tough tournament. And the reason why I say this is because he was losing this game too. He was getting smacked, actually. At one point, he just got saved it, right? He just saved it. Right, like watch this, right? D4, you know, everything cool. And I actually thought he chose a great choice. To be honest, I've actually studied this for a very long time. Like I'm very, very good at you know, keeping it flexible these days because you need to. In fact, at the higher level, you got to stay flexible. So, I saw this semi-Slav and I was instantly intrigued by this game. I'm like, oh, let's see what he does. Like, you know, I've studied a lot of lines like this. My favorite game in this is Lavanaronian versus Anan. Where, I mean, if y'all know that game, you need to go see it. I mean, if you don't, he played what? Knight E5 with, he played Bishop C5 with a pawn here, by the way. He played Bishop C5. He played Knight E5. He played Knight, bro. It was the craziest game. He sacked so much material. It's probably one of the greatest semi-Slav games ever. But, so I'm seeing this and I'm like, all right, cool. You know, it's nice to see. C6, E3, Knight B to D. I mean, this is all theory. Bishop D6, Bishop E2, castle, castle. Take, B5. Hit the bishop. Bishop B7, theory. Excuse me. There's a lot of great, brilliant, and blunder moves in that PGN. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even check the with the game review thing. But, I mean, from a practical standpoint, as a human, that is the greatest game I've ever seen in the semi-Slav. Okay, A3 and A5, which stops B4. That's the whole intention. Whole intention there. E4 and then E5. Yep, this is usually played. Takes, you take with the knight. This is all right. Takes. Bishop A6, though, this is the first thing. And I'm like, bro, what is that move? Bruh. I know you 2800, but Brian never seen it. Like, this is weird. But I think he went a weird route anyway, too. Because but you do play A3 and A5. E4 is a premature move. I've seen it a lot. I think there's a maybe he missed the rook C8, and there it is, rook C8. Yeah. And it just says rook C8. I knew something's off. Like, there's some sharper lines now. A3, rook C8 is the move. And when they go E4, you go C5. I remember this. Yep. And you see that it's C. Like, look at this. Like, C5. Like, this stuff is sharp, bro. This is some sharp stuff. So I remember this. And, I mean, obviously, Alireza either just didn't know it or, like, you know, he just went the A5 route. But I remember the move orders are weird. Like, is it A5 now because you want to stop B4, or is it rook C8? There are times where you go rook C8, they go B4, and you still go C5. Like, it's very smart. It's very, very fire stuff. A5, E4, E5, D takes E5, knight takes. Like, this is the live position, right? Bishop A6. Bishop E3. And then B4, oh yeah, this is different. Takes. And now this is already a little different, I thought. A little different. Can't deal with the encyclopedia opening knowledge. I appreciate you. You know, I'm out here working. Probably stayed up until 5 a.m. playing Blitz or something of that sort, like he did with the bullet chess. But okay. So B takes C3, bishop to C4. Yeah, this got a little crazy. So everything was fine, right? And here's the problem that actually, honestly, I had this problem too. And my coach actually helped me get out of this, which is just lashing out. And I think my coach said, he used to say, are we desperate, bro? Like, he's like, bro, are you desperate? He's like, he be talking to me like that, bro, was you desperate? Like, literally from Russia out here and like grilling me on certain positions, right? Like, were you desperate? Because you don't have to do that, right? You don't have to go that route. And a lot of times in this tournament, we've seen that from Firouzja, which is interesting because I had the same thing, right? So, of course, Bishop C5 is a sweet move. Is this exchange here? And the engine's like, yo, it's equal, right? But of course, because we got this pass pawn here. But watch this. Takes. And the move I'm talking about is right here. This is what I'm talking about right here. It's not necessary to do what Firouzja does here. It's not necessary. Are you desperate, right? You know, in a way. And that's G5. And it's like, whoa, slow down, my guy. Like, slow down, bro. Hold on. Like, what are you doing? It's something with the G pawn. He did this with Jan too, right? With the white G4. Like, he just did G5. Don't care anymore. G5. G5. I know he wants to stop this, but he was doing it at all cost. Like, all cost. He did not want any of that. So he plays G5. F4 still played anyway. Didn't stop it. Takes, and takes, right? So he takes anyway. Queen takes B2. Now we get rid of the pawn. You could definitely go wrong here. Everything, okay, look, practical chances. As a human, I can still hold this, right? And knight H5 happens, and now look at the engine. I mean, wow. Like, and I didn't see the commentary, but I'm sure commentators with the engine on was definitely like, bro, what is Firouzja doing? He about to go down again. Like, this is the worst chess he playing ever, right? Like, that's probably what they were saying, because it's +4 right now. Like, it's a lot. There's a lot going on. His position is really bad according to the engine. Rook D3, and then a few moves go by, and everything equal. Rook F2 wasn't good. Okay, whatever. Bishop back. Let's flip the board. Flip the board and see what we can do from Duda's point of view. So I got to move the queen. Maybe queen E2, knight F4. Okay. Wow, I have a weird line. Queen E2, knight F4. Queen E2, knight F4. Rook takes. Queen G4 check. Queen G5, rook G3. Does that actually work? That, you're kidding me if that actually works. I just want to see that. I just want to show this. Does this actually work? Yeah. Or not? Oh, he can block with the bishop. But Queen G5, yeah, it does work. Oh my goodness. Tactics win games. My goodness. I was looking at this just now, just thinking if this worked, and it does. That's disgusting. The idea is if bishop takes, you take the queen. I mean, I'm threatening this too. I'm also threatening queen takes F4. It's a nasty sequence. But he can block with the bishop. Oh, this was game. Oh, he played that for real. Oh, he actually played that. But, oh, he was going to allow bishop G5. Wow, he played that for real. And then knight F6, and then now it's black back up again. Check. Oh, he played king H1, king H8. Rook G2, rook B8. Bishop A2. And I think Duda's style, when it comes to Duda, yes, he's winning, but he doesn't like aggressively. I remember, shoot, I was doing commentary on that game. It was a Duda versus Carlsen. I think I was with Bach too. I don't remember what the tournament was. Maybe it was Grand Prix. No, but he lost that game. There was a game, right, where Duda playing Magnus, and he beating him. I mean, Duda up like +5. And then he just doesn't convert there. And I think, you know, a lot of his solid positional style, which he can be aggressive too, but that conversion there has been off. 98, like, look at that. I mean, he had like 5 chances to win this game. 98, queen E3. And what was the best? What the engine want? Rook B3? That's strange. Oh, I mean, it does hit the bishop. I mean, the rook, but yeah, that's inhuman, to be honest. Queen G4 hit the mate. That's human. Queen E3. I don't know what that even does. Maybe going here, but in bishop G7 there? Interesting. He had the same problem with Rapport in the first game. Yeah, but you can tell that it's a problem for him. He couldn't convert, right? So you can tell it's a problem, so it's something that he's going to work on, obviously, or it's something he should work on. We don't know if he will, or hopefully he does, but something, you know, that we got to, you know, talk about. So knight to D6, get the knight off the back rank. Very smart. Rook to D1, back that boy up, and maybe double up. Queen F6, and then Firouzja found some resources in the last few moves, somewhere around here. Rook F2 happens. Queen G6, he's hitting the E4 pawn. Rook G1 happens, which apparently this was all good. Rook G2 was better for some reason, but okay. Rook G1 takes, knight takes. Yeah, okay, I'm down in exchange. But my rook's hanging. There's also a knight G3 followed by rook B2, which can't really be stopped in a way. Rook FG2 is a move though. But he takes on F7 and allows it. Knight G3 and just says, you know what? It's whatever. And then I'm looking at this game and they just end up drawing the game. Bishop takes G1 and I'm sure he probably offered a draw here. And Duda like, man, bro, come on. Garbage. Like, bro. I'm sure if I'm... Dude, I had games like that. Sitting at the board like, man, that was just... What did I do? Like, I was winning the game. Like, it happens. It does happen. Tough game. And, Firouzja gets away with that one. He could have been a disaster after losing another game. Now, final game here that we look at is this one. Boy, this is a miniature. 26 moves in the candidates? Bruh. Boy, that was a crazy game. I don't know what happened, but, like, Ding got dinged here, like, for real. I mean, Timur Radjabov snapped. D4, Knight F6, C4, E6. Knight C3, Bishop B4. We got a Nimzo. Honestly... This is a bad choice for... This is never a bad choice for white. You can play this. But no, with the Nimzo Indian, with black, I think Radjabov's style, like King's Indian, right? And also having this in our arsenal as well is a very strong addition. It can be very tactical. And I've always had good success with the Nimzo Indian from the black side. Like, I just always have. No, Knight F3 is the ones where you are annoying. Those are the annoying ones where you have to choose what you want to do. But I mean, black's happy already with having a Nimzo. E3, castles, bishop D3, we play D5. Easy. Easy. Ding goes for the C takes D5 line, right? And of course, the early C takes. So in these lines, we bring the bishop back. You can play B6, C6, or sometimes just B6, C5, put the bishop on B7, or trade it off on A6. Excuse me. And you use the E4 square. What happens? A3, instead of capturing, we go back to D6. Queen C2, I like this move. Creative. Very creative. Knight A6. I think this is sort of theory. I have seen something like this before. Not really here, like in this position, but I have seen this idea. Knight A6, Knight G to E2, and C5. You got C4 coming too, but maybe we just want to open up. Then he takes, right? I mean, giving up the bishop here. The bishop's kind of bad. Takes, damages the structure. He takes, but he's saying your structure is garbage and we're going to try to in-game you in a way. B4, we going to move that boy back up, and he does. Bishop D6, Bishop B2, A5. Get rid of one of the terrible pawns. B5 played. A6. I said get rid of one of the terrible pawns, says Raja. H3, stopping any type of Knight G4 because he wants to castle. Think castling might run into a Greek gift. Is that correct? What does the engine think? No. So if I Greek gift him, what happens? I mean, I guess it's just wrong. It's just wrong. I mean, I gotta see. King G1 is lost, but King G3 apparently, so COE, calculation over everything. If we do Queen G5, F4, oh, I can't go Queen G6. That's the key thing. Wow, that's why he's losing. That's interesting. I mean, it's not by a lot, engines up plus 1.6, even though we sacked a piece. But usually you follow up with Queen G5, but you can't get away with this. F4. And they're saying just take and bail out. Bail out by taking this and this. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Curious. I was just curious. So A6, H3, he was like, I'm not curious at all, bro. Like, you're not about to put nothing there. H3, bishop goes to D7. Wow, what a move. Like, it just attacks B5. That's good work. Bishop D7 takes, activates the rook. Hey, I'm taking black all day. I mean, this is just a weird game from Ding, I think. Weird. The rook can swing. The bishop's looking good. Yeah, I got an ISO pawn, but so what? You're king in the center still. Rook D1. Rook B6, pushing pressure. You might even see bishop A1. Look at that engine first move, bishop A1. Just to like, yeah, I don't want any problems. But bishop takes A3 though. Yeah, that's inhuman. Definitely. After I see that, now I'm going to keep it here. Rook to D2 defends. Queen B8. He played Queen C8 first. Then he played Queen B8. Or Rook E8 first. Actually, by the way, look at this move, right? I mean, Ding just like collapsed in a way. He played F3. First off, fine gold tripping. Bruh. He like, yo, this is why you don't play F3. Never play F3. Like, F3. That boy went to -3 after that. King in the center. Like, what was Ding doing this game? F3, rook to E8. Threatening rook takes E3. So he defends it. King F2. Maybe we'll hand castle. That was his whole idea. Queen B8 put some pressure on B2. right? Queen C1, stepping out of the way. Then here it is. I mean, it's -9 right now. This was the game of the day. Like, this man hitting with a... Boy, he felt that one. Oh, my goodness. He felt that one. Boy, rook takes e3 was gross. Oh, my goodness. I remember, and I was like, oh, I got to see this. Like, what happens? What happens if he takes it? Obviously, he didn't take it. But what happens if he does? We got to see it. So after king takes, check. Bishop c5. Right? Of course, the queen's doing her thing here. Do you like king d3 or blocking with the knight? Obviously, king d3, you blocking with your whole face. Bishop f5, like, wow. Look at the bishop swipe the board here. Knight here, you take with the pawn. I mean, your king in the middle of the street. Like, come on. Like, what do you think is about to happen here? Yo, your king in the middle of the street. So, if we go here, rook takes, king takes, bishop c5. Blocking with the rook, obvious. I can even take on b2 first. Knight d4 is the natural move, the move you should play. And I do remember looking at queen e5 and thinking to myself, oh, this is a wrap. King d3, you can go bishop takes. You can even go queen takes too. But that's going to, he's going to go that way anyway. And black still has some work to do. But the fact that his king looks like this is so vulnerable. It's terrible. The squares are weak. We got the bishop pair. Like, this is going to be a wrap. So he doesn't take it. Knight to d1. I mean, like, ugh. Like, you couldn't do anything. Engine says rook takes e2. Bro, they give this nasty line that nobody was playing. The line says rook e2, bishop g3, king g1, and like, bro, what is this? Like, h6 is even there? Like, this is, what are you talking about? What is the engine talking about? Bruh. Come on, bruh. Thanks, Pepper Percante. Appreciate you, bro. So, I mean, this is stupid. He played a practical choice. Move the rook back. Rook e8. Makes sense. Knight e3 makes sense as well. Rerouting the knight. Get that boy off the back rank. Rook b3. I mean, there's only like 3 moves left from here. 3 moves is, I mean, where was this Radjabov earlier? Crushing ding in this game. Rook to b3, hitting the knight. I mean, he didn't even get castled. 2800 ding. Didn't even get castled this game. I mean, he got crushed. Rook to b3, hitting the knight. Knight to g4. Hitting f6, obviously. He gets rid of it. Bishop takes g4. H takes g4. Black has so many moves here. And rook to c8 is a nasty move because it hits the queen. And your queen is the only thing, well, not only, but one of the 2 pieces defending the bishop. What does Ding do? Plays queen to a1. And then resigns after not even capture something. Watch this. Bishop f4 resigns. Wow. Wow. Bishop f4 resign. He made him resign. He didn't even take nothing. Made the man resign on the spot. Like, what? Oh my goodness, right? The rook's hit. That's the idea. If you move the rook, we take the bishop. You can't go to the c file. I take that. If you take, knight takes f4, okay? Engine give knight e4 check. I didn't even see that, but I did see queen takes. And then knight e4, because if you try to defend it on a family channel here, oh my goodness, knight e4, knight takes g4. It don't matter 4, right? Something 4, and you're getting mated, or even, what's worse than that, right? So it's rough. It's very rough. Bishop f4, and he just resigns. He just resigns. This was an absolute crush. I think they made him a poster by using his game as the puzzle of the day. Bruh, sheesh. Raja absolutely snapped this game. Yeah, he let y'all know that, like, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, welcome back. Big Raja's in the building, right? Okay, he definitely snapped there. It's kind of late. I mean, like, hey, bro, you're not going to win the candidates or nothing, but we see you, though. We see you, right? That's like getting dunked on. Exactly, yeah. Right, through the legs windmill, dunked on him in front of everybody. Yeah, like, really, that's what happened in this game for Ding. Oh, my goodness, bro, that was crazy. But, of course, this was candidates round 12, so make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube video. Or YouTube channel too as well. Also here, let me go over here and let's check the stats real quick. So tomorrow is a rest day. Oh, actually the points wise, 8.5, 6.5, 6.5, 6 for, wow. Whoa, like, where did he come from? I mean, honestly, I thought Raja was lower down in the standings, but apparently he is not. In fact, if Raja win 2 more games, he would do better than Ding and Caro. Not us saying that they don't do anything, right? But I mean, which is unlikely. I mean, they're going to definitely do a thing. But honestly, Radjabov is not who you was expecting to be in 4th place right now. Good stuff, bro. Good stuff. Here's the schedule. Rest day tomorrow. Right here. Rest day July 2nd. 13th and the 14th are rounds, or sorry, the 3rd and the 4th are rounds 13 and 14. All right, chat. See y'all on the next one. Thank you so much for watching the video.